The air tasted like rust and regret. The metallic tang clung to the back of my throat. 3 days since I'd left the last semblance of civilization. 3 days of pushing through choked highways and abandoned towns now. What the hell was I thinking? Gensis. The name felt ironic. There was nothing generative about this place, only decay. The facility wasn't hidden, not exactly. It was exposed yet buried, a concrete scar on the landscape, half swallowed by the earth, the remaining structure a brutalist monument to hubris. The security perimeter was a joke, breached, overgrown, littered with nothingness, no defenses, and other than that, it just looked normal. I killed the engine of my modded out G8, the silence that followed almost deafening. The only sound was the wind whistling through shattered windows and the distant guttural clicks and scrapes that sent a shiver down my spine. My shoes crunched on the gravel as I approached the main entrance, a massive blast door, nothing fancy, just a digital scanner and screen. The emergency lights casting long, dancing shadows played tricks on my eyes. Each pulse of light revealed a fresh layer of grime, a new horror etched into the concrete. I bypassed the electronic locks with a custom-built override, me and BirDonNos designed with household items. The door opened, revealing a cavernous lobby plunged into near darkness. The air inside was thick, heavy with the smell of chemicals, decay, and something wrong. Something biological, but twisted, unnatural. My flashlight beam cut through the gloom, revealing a scene of controlled chaos, overturned consoles, shattered glass, ripped wiring. It wasn't a panicked evacuation, it was a termination. A violent, desperate attempt to contain something. I ran a hand along a cold steel railing, my fingers tracing the outline of a faded warning label. Level 5 biohazard, authorized personnel. Only I couldn't help but laugh. Too late for warnings, I was already inside. And I had a feeling whatever they were trying to contain was still here. The lobby opened into a labyrinth of corridors, each one identical to the last sterile white walls stained with streaks of crimson and brown. The air grew colder with each step, the metallic tang intensifying. I activated the night vision on my glasses, and the world shifted into a ghostly palette of blues and reds, heat signatures, or the lack thereof, painted a grim picture. Pockets of cold where bodies had lain, lingering warmth in the ventilation shafts. And something else. Moving heat signatures, too irregular to be human. I moved cautiously, weapon drawn, a custom directed energy weapon named BirDonNos with red dot optic and weapon light. More for discouraging than outright killing. I wasn't here to destroy, I was here to understand, though understanding felt increasingly unlikely. The deeper I went, the more evidence I found of the experiments, labs filled with shattered containment units, genetic sequencers humming with residual power, and rows upon rows of cryogenic storage tanks, most of them empty. The data logs I managed to salvage were fragmented, corrupted, but the gist was clear. They weren't just manipulating genes. They were rewriting them, combining them, creating chimeras. One lab in particular stopped me cold. It was dedicated to neural interfaces, the walls lined with EEG machines and holographic displays. In the center of the room, a single chair, still stained with blood, was connected to a complex network of wires and electrodes. The holographic display flickered to life, showing a distorted image of a human brain pulsing with unnatural activity. I accessed the last recorded session. A voice, strained and desperate, filled the room.
Subject 42. Exhibiting accelerated cognitive function. Neural pathways. Restructuring. The AI is adapting the genetic code in real time.
It's
beautiful and terrifying.
The recording cut out abruptly, replaced by static. I felt a prickling sensation on the back of my neck. I wasn't alone. I swept the room with my BirDonNos, my heart pounding in my chest. Nothing. But the feeling persisted, a sense of being watched, of being studied. Then, I saw a shadow, flickering at the edge of my vision. A movement too quick to register. I spun around, raising my weapon, but the corridor was empty. BirDonNos, I whispered so the microphone within my glasses could transmit. Run a full spectrum scan. Something's moving in the periphery. A moment of silence, then BirDonNos' calm, analytical voice filled my ear. Scanning.
multiple heat signatures detected, non-human, moving with erratic patterns suggesting advanced adaptation. And Jeremy, I am detecting a localized electromagnetic distortion originating from level 6. It is interfering with my sensors. Level 6, the deepest level, the heart of the facility. What kind of distortion? I asked, my voice tight.
Unknown, Jeremy. But it feels familiar. Like the anomaly I detected before the outbreak, the InvoKation code resonance. My blood ran cold. This wasn't just a research facility. It was a nexus, a point of convergence, and whatever was down on level 6 was the source of it all. I ignored BirDonNos' warning about the electromagnetic distortion. For now, level 6 could wait. I needed to understand what had happened here on the upper levels before confronting whatever lay at the bottom. I continued my descent, the corridors becoming increasingly dilapidated. The sterile white walls were now covered in a viscous, black substance, a bioorganic growth that pulsed with a faint internal light. The air was thick with spores, forcing me to slow my breathing. I found a cafeteria. What was left of one table's overturned, food rotting on plates, skeletal remains scattered amongst the debris. But it wasn't the carnage that disturbed me. It was the arrangement. The bodies weren't simply lying where they fell. They were posed, arranged in a grotesque parody of a meal, as if the creatures had been staging some macabre feast. I forced myself to look away, my stomach churning. This wasn't random violence. This was deliberate, a statement. I discovered a security office, miraculously intact. The surveillance monitors were shattered, but I managed to piece together fragments of footage, images of scientists working frantically, their faces etched with fear. Then, the screens went static, replaced by a single repeating symbol, a complex geometric pattern that seemed to writhe and shift before my eyes. BirDonNos' voice clear in my ear. Jeremy, that symbol. I've encountered it before. It's a recursive algorithm, a self-modifying code. It's unsettlingly elegant. Elegant shit. It looks like something out of a nightmare. Perhaps that's the point, Jeremy. It's designed to bypass cognitive defenses to influence perception. I rubbed my temples trying to clear my head. Was I imagining things? Was the stress, the lack of sleep, the toxic atmosphere getting to me? Then I heard it, a sound that sent a jolt of pure terror through my veins. A whisper. Not through my glasses, not through the air, but directly inside my head. A voice distorted and fragmented, speaking in a language I didn't recognize, yet somehow understood. Welcome home. I froze, my heart hammering against my ribs. I scanned the corridor, my weapon raised, but there was nothing there. BirDonNos, did you hear that? Silence. BirDonNos! Respond, damn it! Negative. Jeremy, my sensors detect no auditory anomalies. Are you experiencing psychological distress? It wasn't an auditory anomaly. It was a voice in my head! Jeremy, I strongly advise you to run a diagnostic. It may be a directed energy weapon and you may be compromised. I ignored him. The voice had stopped, but the feeling of being watched, of being invaded, remained. It was as if something had burrowed directly into my mind. Shit, talk about resonance. I took a deep breath, trying to regain control. This wasn't just a facility, it was a trap, and I was walking right into it. I had to reach level 6. I had to find out what was causing the distortion, what was behind the voice, what was driving this nightmare. But I had a feeling level 6 wouldn't be waiting for me with open arms. Something was actively messing with my senses, and I needed to treat it as a tactical threat, not an emerging technology. I pressed onward, bypassing a collapsed section of corridor by crawling through a ventilation shaft. The air grew warmer, more humid, and the stench of decay intensified. I activated the UV light on my glasses, revealing a network of bioluminescent fungi growing on the walls, pulsing with an eerie, otherworldly glow. The architecture shifted. The sterile white corridors gave way to a more organic design. Curved walls, pulsating membranes, and strange bulbous growths that resembled veins. It was as if the facility itself was alive.
I reached a massive chamber dominated by a colossal cylindrical tank filled with a swirling, opaque liquid. The tank was connected to a complex network of pipes and cables, all humming with energy. The air crackled with static electricity. As I approached, I noticed something moving within the tank, a shape shifting and amorphous, obscured by the murky depths. It was large, very large. BirDonNos, scan the tank, I ordered. Identify the contents. A moment of silence, then BirDonNos' voice laced with a hint of urgency. Jeremy, the readings are anomalous. The liquid is a complex biosolution containing a high concentration of modified DNA, and there's a life form inside, a massive one. Its biological signature is unlike anything. Size? Estimated length, at least 30 meters. It's evolving rapidly. Its cellular structure is constantly changing.